Morning all, how are you? I'm looking a bit tatty today because I got a bit stuck in the rain with the dog this morning. But I went out with my hood up and realised that actually I didn't want to feel restricted and confined by my hood. So I took my hood down and got wet. But it was lovely. And the bluebells were just beautiful this morning. So I've just put a little post up in my personal Facebook group about focusing on why and not focusing on what. And I was going to just put the post in here, but I just thought, do you know what, I'm going to come in and talk about this because it can be a really big game changer. If you're feeling stuck right now, or if there's something that you want to achieve, even if it's something really small, like just losing a couple of pounds, and you're just not doing it, you know what you need to do, you know all the rules, but you just can't be asked. Or you avoid it, or you just, it just doesn't happen. And sometimes I talk to my clients when the goal is too big, and we talk about chunking it down into smaller things. So, you know, rather than focusing on I need to lose 2 stone, we talk about, well, you need to lose a couple of pounds. But sometimes the couple of pounds are the hardest thing to do. And what I wrote in my post really was an example of, for me, I avoided presentations and speaking out in meetings or just presenting, doing a speech or anything like that in my corporate career forever because I was scared. So I didn't do it. But when I set up my own business, I realised that one of the best things to do to be visible, to get out there and see people, was to do things like I'm doing now, which is to give a presentation, give a speech, go live, talk, and, you know, get out there. But I'd been avoiding it for such a long time. And actually, if you think about it, giving a speech or doing a talk or going live is really as simple as pressing the button or standing up or putting your arm up. Or when somebody says, anybody want to say something? You just do it. It's the step from that to that is so simple. And it's the same with everything. The actual act of the change happens in a second, happens literally like that. You don't, change doesn't take forever. It's all about making a choice or making a decision. But the thing is, if you keep focusing on what and a plan and how you're going to do it and what, how am I going to do this? You can just get bogged down. And actually, what you really need to do is to focus on why. Why? Why do you want to do it? Why do you need to do it? Why is it important to you? How is it going to change your life? Is losing 2 pounds, seriously now, is losing 2 pounds really, 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 really important to you? And if so, why? Because if it's important to you because of the way other people judge you, if it's important to you because you will look better or you will feel better, if it's important to you because your mum told you you're looking a bit chubby, if it's important to you because you fancy this really hot bloke and you think you'll be better, if you're a little bit slimmer, whatever the reason is it really, really important to you? So going back to my first public speaking thing, and I guess my first real chance at standing on stage was joining Toastmasters and going to that Toastmasters meeting. That was the first time, and I sat in that meeting and people were talking. And if you've ever been to a Toastmasters meeting, it's probably not what you think. Everybody gets to talk. I thought I might be able to just hide in the back and listen, but everybody was having a go, so I did. But the reason I'd gone there was the fact that I wanted to provide for my family. That's it. It wasn't that I wanted to be heard. It wasn't that I wanted to be seen as an expert. It wasn't that I wanted to be on stage. You know, all of those are true to a degree. But the real why was I needed to provide for my girls. And for me. And the thing is, you can probably see, and maybe you can hear it in my voice, is when you get into the emotion of the why and you feel emotional about it, you know you've got it. And yes, you might still procrastinate a bit. You might still be scared. You will still be scared. You might still think, oh God, this is really hard. But when you can get so close to the real reason why it's important to you, you will take action and you will do it. So I went to that meeting. I stood up at that very first meeting and was quaking in my boots. I can still feel my knees knocking, but I did it because I knew my why. I knew that I had to do this because I knew that it was a way of being able to start to help providing for my family. Because, if you don't tell people who you are and what you do, how are they ever going to know you're there and what you do and how you can help them? Unfortunately, in this digital age, if you're running a business and you're doing what I'm doing and you're coaching people, you have to be online. You have to be able to talk about what you do and how you help people. So that was my why. So, ladies, if there is something that you want to do, and quite often I find it's down to those last few pounds, or your tummy, or your thighs, or you don't like your arms, or something like that, and it's something that's there all the time in your head, and you beat yourself up about it, but then you do bugger all about it. It's because it's not important to you. So then you've got a choice. You've got a choice to agree with the fact that actually, in the grand scheme of things, it's not important. Or you can choose that it is really important, but what's the real reason behind it? I had a conversation with a lady recently about losing weight. And actually, when we unpicked everything, the whole reason behind wanting to lose that weight was about health, was about the fact that her parents had struggled with their health. They'd had some health issues and there was some hereditary stuff going on in the family that she was scared and worried about was going to happen to her. It was the fact that she'd had an injury that wasn't really healing, and so she was finding it hard. She was in pain, and it was more important to be out of pain than it was to lose the weight. So the reframe and getting down into that deep reason why can make a huge difference. Trust me. I've been there. I know. And I'll be honest with you, I wake up pretty much most days and go, I don't like my tummy, I'm 50, I'm getting a bit of a menopausal tummy. It's a thing. You tend to put weight on round the middle when your hormones change. It's just fact. Our bodies can't cope with carbohydrates in the same way that they did when our hormones were a bit more balanced. We metabolize things differently. There's probably a lot I could do about it. I could cut down eating biscuits. I like biscuits. I admit it. I like them. But is it important to me? No, not really. I can look at my body and I know I look after my body and I am healthy probably 90% of the time. And therefore, if I look at my tummy in the mirror and I go, it's okay. If it was really, really important to me, I'd do something about it. But it's not. In the grand scheme of things, it's not. So there are more important things for me to focus on. And again, it would probably, like the lady that I was just talking about, it probably would relate to being healthy. And I guess in some ways my dad has got vascular dementia, and I guess, you know, unconsciously, or maybe it is conscious now I've said it, is I want to avoid ever having to struggle with dementia. I want to avoid my children having to go through that. Whether I can or not, I don't know, but I can create healthy habits to make sure that I don't. So, focus on why, not on what. And if it's, you know, if it's this thing that's been going around in your head and you beat yourself up every single day or very, very often, and it's the thing that you talk about with your friends, like, oh God, I really wish I could blah, 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 blah. Why? Why? Why is it important to you? And in my 5-day challenge that's coming up starting on Monday, we do focus on an exercise that will help you with this. And it will get you emotional. It's a tough one to do just as a one-off, but we do it as a one-off in the 5-day challenge because, I think understanding the process is a good thing. But in my transformation program, where I use my SHIP method, we go down into the why process a little bit more. And, in that 6-week program, it's much easier to give coaching and advice, and actually, we go deep into it and we help each other to unpick those whys. But the 5-day challenge next week, was one of the things that we do. So if you are struggling with this thing and you don't really know, I know what, but I don't know why, then maybe join the challenge, which starts on Monday, and it could help you. Anyway, there we go. Focus on the why and not on the what. As Simon Sinek says, start with why. And that's around business and marketing. But it's just as relevant in relationships, in health, in your personal growth as well. It's just as relevant. I'll see you soon. Take care, ladies. How are you doing, by the way? Let me know. See you soon.